Hey YouTube, Skipper T here. Yesterday I was at a show held at one of the fairgrounds, and as we were walking around I ran across a guy at a booth, and I was looking at several of the things that he had there, and I happened to notice he had this little green machine right here. Turns out this is a Coleman catalytic heater, and this is the 5000 BTU version of that. I believe this was somewhere between probably 67 and 1970s model. It's the 513A, or correction, B. They made several of these, and some of them had a little lever on the side over here where you could adjust it between 3 and like 5000 BTUs. This particular one has no button on that, so it's just a straight up 5000 BTU heater. Anyway, it runs on the Coleman white fuel. I pulled it all apart here, and I'm gonna zoom in and show you how it comes apart and all the different pieces. In fact, this is the snuffer cap here, and I'll show you what it looks like and how it comes apart, so stay with me. Okay guys, here it is pulled in tight. Let's see if we can get the name tag up here and see if you can read that, but it's the Coleman catalytic heater. Anyway, it comes with this. It's pretty heavy when you put a gallon of white fuel in it. There's two little knobs here in the front, one on either side. If you press those together, then the lid lifts off. It's actually hinged on the back side so that it can be laid down as such, kind of out of the way and away from the burner itself. For now, this burner has three little detents, so you can just rotate it about 1/8 of a turn, and it lifts out. And in the center, there's a huge wick. It's got to be 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches in diameter. And it drops down obviously into the fuel and then comes up into this, what appears to be an early ceramic type material. And then, you know, obviously it's going to catch on fire, and then this will radiate the heat out from there. Once you're done with it, basically you just put the snuffer cap on it and it puts out the flames. Theoretically, I've never tried one of these. Saw this, I bought some parts and pieces from this guy. He says, you know, he goes, I'll throw this in for an extra 10 bucks. And of course, you know, being a bushcrafter, I couldn't really resist. So I went ahead and picked it up. They say you're supposed to turn it upside down for about 5 minutes until there's about a 2-inch ring of fluid that leaks up onto the top here. You light that fluid, and then for 5 or 10 minutes it flames up 1 foot or 2 according to the directions that are on the back side of this thing. Then once the flame comes down, you know, it'll eventually burn out, and then it burns internally, and then it's supposed to create a bunch of heat. So I've got it filled up. I've been letting it sit for about an hour or so. Then I think what we'll do is we'll go outside. I'll see if I can rig some lighting up. And one of the other things that I've read, because I did a little research online, said that you could put fuel here at the top. Just dribble about a 2-inch pattern or so on it, light that, and then as that's burning, it will ignite what's on the inside, and it should work that way. I'm a little uncomfortable turning it all the way upside down. I mean, it's in great shape. I mean, there's very little rust. In fact, the only real rust that's on it's right up here on the top of the lid. And again, this just locks back down into place with those two little levers, and then you have the ability to pick this thing up and move it around. So anyway, we're going to go outside. We're going to see what we can get set up for light so that you can see it, and then we'll fire this up, see what it looks like. Stay with me. Okay guys, here we are. We're outside. Yes, it's dark. Daylight savings time is upon us, but you know, it's only got a little after 6:15 at night, so I'm going to go ahead and fire this up. I've been thinking about what the instructions said, and I think I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and see if we can't get that spot on the top. If it leaks out fluid, then I think we'll probably abort. But so far everything appears to be solid and tight. I have no idea how long it takes to get a spot to show up on the top of this. It's been wicking for, I don't know, several hours now. So I'm not entirely positive how this is supposed to work. I'm still not seeing a knot on there or any kind of liquid. I'm going to go ahead and hold it upside down for a little bit here. I'll probably cut and come back. Okay guys, I've held this upside down for about 5 or 10 minutes. I have to admit, I'm a little nervous. Let's see if it'll light. It's trying to. Now they say that it'll do this for about 5 to 10 minutes as this fluid burns off of where it's collected on the top. And they said for 5 to 10 minutes it could shoot flames, or not shoot flames, but it could burn a foot or two high. So we're going to let that burn for a little bit, see what it looks like when it tames back down, and we'll just see what happens. Stay with me. Okay guys, about 3 minutes into this now. It's just doing a steady burn. Hopefully I'm hoping it'll do something similar to an alcohol stove. But as this is an experiment, we'll find out. Okay guys, right now we're about 5 minutes into this. Flames have kind of calmed down a little bit. I can tell it's starting to burn the residual out of what we did at the top. I'm hoping here shortly it'll take off and go, do what it's supposed to. But I have no idea what that is. So we shall see. Okay, we're about 10 minutes in now. Flame is struggling a little bit. You can hear it heating up on the inside. As long as it doesn't explode, we'll be in good shape. Okay, 12 minutes, and it's starting to struggle. "13 minutes and the flames are out." Well, that's putting out some heat. Yeah, that's working pretty good. Let's see what happens if we put the lid over it. Okay, it's secure. Putting out some pretty good heat. I think we'll give it another few minutes and see if it even continues to do that. We're going to let it sit for a little bit. We'll come back and see how it does in a few. Okay guys, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm standing behind the camera, so I'm 6 feet or 7 feet away from that. And I've got it zoomed in. You can see the heat doing the mirage thing on the leaves back behind it. I tell you, it's putting out a decent amount of heat right now. It's about 52 degrees outside. It's a little chilly. Fortunately, there's not a lot of wind. But yeah, it's putting out some heat. I tell you what, if you had that in a tent or a lean-to, or some kind of improvised shelter, or a, what was I thinking of, like not a tent, but like a lean-to or something like that, this would keep you warm. Yeah, I think that's going to work out pretty nicely. Yeah, not bad for 10 bucks. Anyway, guys, I'll back this back out here. Yeah, the longer that runs, the warmer it gets. So yeah, I'm so far I'm pretty impressed with my first trial run on this. Anyway, we'll spin it back around. We're supposed to pull these two little levers, and then to shut it off, put the little aluminum snuffer cap on it. It does sit tight then around the seal, or around the base here, and then basically you just let everything cool off. So I'm going to leave it sit outside here because I figure it'd probably be better to let that do that outside here. Yeah, looks like she's ready to go. Not bad for $10. That's the Coleman catalytic heater. I believe, again, 1967, 1970-ish piece of equipment. But so far so good. Remember guys, keep your eyes open, keep your heads up, and we'll see you outside.